All right, guys, last two of outcome 3 of Unit 1. So today we're going to be looking at a SWOT analysis. This is a part of the business plan that you'll be completing for this upcoming SAC. All right, so what actually is a SWOT analysis? It is a business planning tool that processes and analyzes how the business will achieve its goals by looking at a variety of different things. These things are strengths and weaknesses and opportunities and threats, okay? When we are looking at the strengths and weaknesses, we are looking at the strengths and weaknesses within the business, okay? So what can we improve on? Opportunities and threats, however, are the external factors that could either hinder or help our business, but that we are unlikely to have much control over. They are used to determine the current position of a business to assist in the planning. Okay, so again, strengths and weaknesses are internal. So strengths, anything that we can really utilize and capitalize on to continue to help our business, where weaknesses need to be minimized. We need to try to reduce them as much as possible so they don't have impact. Opportunities, so anything external to the business that we think might help, but again, it is really difficult to control. And then threats, so these could be things like the economy, not knowing where the dollar is. So if we're thinking about entering into overseas markets, the change in the exchange rate could be a real threat to the business depending on where you are trading in the world. All right, so this image gives you lots of different examples of strengths and weaknesses and opportunities and threats. So I'll just touch on a couple of them. Strengths, having highly trained and qualified employees can obviously help with customer service levels, with the quality of the product, which will obviously then help to increase sales and hopefully profit. What technologies we can use. So obviously incorporating technology into the business is always going to have an impact. However, we also do need to remember that technology is going to be quite expensive, okay? So if you are going to be using technology in your business for this upcoming SAC, you do need to consider the costs involved, all right? And lots of resources, okay? Money, employees, raw materials, making sure that we are on top of all of that will obviously provide us with the best possible potential for output of the product, so leading to customer satisfaction and hopefully profitability again. Weaknesses, reputation. We can't stress this enough, okay? So reputation is a really key factor in whether or not people are going to actually go to this business, okay? If you are starting a business from scratch, your reputation obviously is not really going to be there, and that can then cause people to either avoid the business or they may just not know about you. So getting your marketing, advertising out there so that people begin to know about your business. Unskilled or unmotivated employees, obviously it can have so many negative impacts on the business. Employees are so integral to the success of the business. So really making sure that they are really well trained and motivated to do their jobs, they feel valued, will then have that positive impact. So making sure that we are looking at that as well. And we'll do technology again. Outdated technologies and facilities can obviously lead to a poorer quality product. So making sure that we are keeping on top of that, okay? If you are looking, for example, at doing an app, you need to constantly be having updates on the app to make sure that there are no bugs, that it's really user-friendly, and that people are able to access it really quickly, okay? I'm sure all of you, or at least most of you, would know how frequently laptops, iPads, phones need to be updated. So making sure that that is also considered in the business planning as well. External, so looking at opportunities. Effectively, you're looking at innovation. Yeah. Customer needs, what do they actually need? How can we incorporate that into our business to make sure that we are still staying relevant? Again, economic conditions, I mentioned it in the last slide. They can be either positive or negative. And expansion and growth opportunities. We've also touched on this quite a bit over the last two outcomes. If you are able to enter into a global market, you're obviously going to be increasing your customer base significantly, which can obviously lead to profit. But again, there are always drawbacks of that. So making sure you're looking at those as well. And then threats. Competitors are always going to be one of the most common threats that you're going to see in a business plan, because so rarely are ideas one of a kind. There's nothing like that out there. Okay, so making sure that you are really showing that competitive advantage as to why people would come to you over any other business that's selling a similar product. Okay. Customer tastes and preferences, so societal attitudes and behaviors. Again, looking at those from the external environment that we considered in the last topic. Developments in technology, so having to be updated all the time is, of course, going to be really expensive. And then the location. All right, so increased rent costs, council restrictions or requirements, anything like that can obviously have that impact on the planning within the business. All right, just an example of this, and this one was in your textbook. So the Coca-Cola Company is an American beverage company that manufactures and sells drinks across the world. The Coca-Cola Company can use the SWOT analysis to plan for the future of the company, with some major considerations addressing health concerns when introducing new products, as well as implementing sustainability practices. If we were to look at the internal factors, so strengths of Coca-Cola, is that they are the largest non-alcoholic beverage company in the world. So there is going to be a lack of competitors. Okay. They have the majority of the market share. People always buy either Coke, Fanta, Sprite. They are sort of the most common non-alcoholic beverages that are sold. All right. On the other hand, a weakness is that they're not particularly health conscious. Okay, so it does limit their ability to sell to a broad range of customers, because they are eliminating an entire customer base of health conscious consumers. On the other hand, the external, so looking at opportunities and threats, the Coca-Cola Company could potentially introduce healthy products in order to eliminate that weakness. Okay, so often the weakness can be minimized, I suppose, with the opportunity component. All right, and then external threat. Packaging controversy, as the drinks are in single-use plastic bottles, so the company is often criticized for their lack of recycling. So again, that would be something, a threat, a current threat that the business could absolutely turn into an opportunity in making recycled bottles. Just remember though, that's going to cost them money. All right. Thanks guys. That's all for this topic.